When it comes to invasive species, a place that comes to mind is the state of Florida, as it has over 139 invasives that have established themselves there. Invasives disrupt the natural ecosystem by predating or competing with native animals. One of the most problematic invasives in Florida is the Argentine black and white tegu. These are large lizards and can grow up to 5 feet in length. They are very opportunistic eaters and have a diverse diet including small mammals, birds, reptiles, fruits, insects, and eggs. They are a large problem for Florida because they commonly raid nests of ground nesting birds and the endangered American crocodile. Because they are charismatic large reptiles, tegus often become popular pets. They eventually become too big for many pet owners who get in over their heads and get released into the wild. Invasives like tegus are difficult to keep from spreading as new populations can appear hundreds of miles away from current ones. Detection of a population is the first important step in creating a plan to control invasive species. The detection of tegu populations has not been great in the past, due to the environment they occur in. In this video, we will look at 3 methods for detecting occurrence of tegus and then determine the best one. By far the cheapest of the methods, visual encounter transects are relatively straightforward. Surveyors will walk a line and record what they see as they walk. The survey area is divided into different groups based upon factors like plant communities or objects like rivers. Lines are distributed randomly based upon this to reduce bias. Low cost and the easy nature of this method make it an attractive option at first glance. However, this method relies on good weather and, more importantly, no misidentification. This method also has a large time investment, as a surveyor may have to spend several days searching and may not find anything. Previous evaluation of this method has suggested that this method is not great for detecting reptiles, and this may be due to their nature of being relatively inactive when compared to birds and mammals. The camera trap method is also pretty simple. Using a grid, trail cameras are set up across the survey area. Then the researcher would return to collect the data, usually a few weeks later. Cameras require much less of a time investment on researchers, being relatively easy to set up. They can be out in the field for much longer than a person can, and are more reliable at detection than people can be. However, camera traps are not without flaws. Most cameras are motion activated to save battery, so a breeze that blows plants around can activate it and waste battery and storage space. This would usually only be a problem at higher sensitivities. Setting the sensitivity too low can cause the camera to not take photos if the tegu is moving too slow. Cameras can also break, whether due to environmental factors like humidity or by an animal tampering with it. This can occur during a period where the researcher isn't on site, meaning a lot of potential data can be lost. EDNA, which is short for environmental DNA, is a method which takes traces of DNA found in the environment to determine if a species occurs in that area. These traces of DNA come from sources such as shed skin, saliva, and waste. This method is very popular for detecting species that may be wary of humans or are hard to detect with the naked eye. Researchers will go into the field to collect a sample of water, soil, or any other medium and send those samples to a lab. Using a DNA library, the samples are compared to determine what species occur in that area. EDNA is a rapidly improving area of detection for wildlife populations, and is great for detecting cryptic species we may have a hard time finding. Water is the best source medium for EDNA analysis, as it better preserves DNA, and Florida's humid environment helps promote this. The cons for EDNA include the cost, which is up to thousands of dollars, a limited window to collect samples, as DNA will degrade within a few weeks, and the fact that false positives can happen, as currents can bring in DNA from other areas. Out of the 3 methods presented, EDNA is the best choice in my opinion. Visual encounter transects are not reliable enough for reptiles, and there's no guarantee an animal will come to a camera trap, even if it is baited. And even though EDNA has the highest cost of the options, it is the most reliable, as you do not have to have a visual confirmation of a tegu, just a trace of its DNA. Here's a list of my sources that I used in the research of this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about invasive tegus or the methods covered, please leave a comment below. Stay safe and have a good day.